I'm just recording as I'm walking because I've totally run out of time to record a video this week. I'm going away this weekend to visit my sister, but I still really wanted to record, and I've had a few people message me, ask for a video about spending money in recovery, which I think is a really important topic. But I've also been a bit reluctant to talk about it because it's something that I still find really hard, although I do think it's gotten better. So yeah, I want to talk a bit about that. Okay, I've come outside to record, and I apologise if this is a complete mess of a video, but I just want to really try to touch on this topic quickly. In my experience of my eating disorder, I tried to save calories and I also tried to save money, and actually I just became absolutely obsessed with being as efficient as possible in all aspects of my life. Eating as little as possible, spending as little as possible, using my time as effectively as I could, not wasting time on socializing or things like that. I spent as little as I could on rent, as little as I could on food. Every week I would try to spend the lowest amount possible on my groceries. I would refuse to use nice things, like if people gave me gifts I would just save them. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think there are a lot of different facets to this topic, and one is that when you're starving yourself, your body thinks that you are in a famine, and so it makes sense that it wants you to save resources, whether that's food or money or even things like electricity or water. Another aspect to it is that eating disorders are really cruel. They make us feel like we're undeserving, or in my case anyway, so I didn't feel like I deserved to spend money on myself, and so I just wouldn't. And it was always about preparing for the future as well. Like, I can't use this nice body wash now, I'll just save it for later, or I can't spend money on myself now because I might need it later. And and also, like with food, when you eat healthily, people praise you for it, and when you save money, people praise you for it as well and tell you that you're a really good saver, and you know, they wish they could have your willpower, blah blah blah. But actually, like, who's winning in this scenario? Because saving all your money just does not make for a fun life. And I think in recovery, my approach to food has changed in a similar way to how my approach to money has changed. So now it's a lot of feel the fear and do it anyway, and you only live once sort of thing. So why save up all my nice things if I'm just gonna die? You know, who knows what's gonna happen in the future, and I might as well use some of my nice things now. And that's not saying that I'll go completely crazy and spend all of my money. And I mean, that's sort of an eating disorder thing to think, isn't it? It's black and white thinking, like how you think with food. Like, if I eat just a little bit of something, I won't be able to stop myself and I'll eat everything. And that's actually not what happens. Same with money. If I spend a little bit of money on myself, then I'll end up spending heaps and going completely overboard. But that doesn't happen. That's just, yeah, black and white thinking. Keep moving around, sorry. I think with recovery, it's all about thinking about living the life that you ultimately want to live. Do you ultimately want to live a life where you're not spending anything on yourself, where you're just eating the cheapest food possible, staying in a crappy apartment? I know that's not the life that I want, and So I have to actively challenge myself to spend money on myself, and I've been doing that a lot recently, especially using these videos as motivation, going out and buying muffins or donut. Buying food I find especially hard because it's not something that's gonna, in my head it's sort of a waste because I could just eat something at home which would be cheaper, or it's not something like tangible that's going to last for a long time because I'm just going to eat it and then it's just very short term. But that doesn't mean it's not worth it, and I think much like we try to justify calories, we also try to justify spending money, and we don't have to do that. Like, I find it much easier to spend money if I'm buying something for someone else, or if I'm going out to lunch with someone. Then that is hard, but I will still spend money on that. Like, I'm much more likely to spend money on that than to just go out for lunch by myself, because in my head it's like, well, what's the point? But the point is that if I want to go out for lunch, and then I should be able to do that, and I should be free to do that, and that's a nice thing to do for myself. But unless I actually practice doing things like that and practice buying food for myself, or buying things like clothes or a nice shampoo or something, then it's just going to keep feeling hard. So it feels really sort of counterintuitive, because you're trying to be kind to yourself, but at the same time you're making yourself feel really uncomfortable because you're doing things that in the moment you don't want to do. So in the last video, I didn't really want to go out and buy a donut because it was spending money, and that felt like a waste, and it made me uncomfortable and feel guilty. But I know in the future I do want to be able to do things like that, and I want it to feel nice, and the only way that it's going to feel nice if I actually practice doing it now and sit through that discomfort, tolerate the feelings of guilt, and then eventually maybe it will be something I can do that actually feels good. So it's very much just like with challenging food fears, you have to challenge yourself to spend money, I think. So I'm at my sister's place now. Yesterday we went out for a really fancy 6-course degustation lunch, which was nice.
So relaxing. It is, really. This is the one I remember to get a photo of last time.
Yeah.
Fix and fork.
Yeah. At the end of it, everyone was like, "Oh, I'm so full," and I was not. So I came home, back to my sister's place, and had some cake, an apple, and a slice of bread with like peanut butter on half and pesto and tomato on the other half. Different bodies, different paths. And then for dinner we had pizza, and I had some chocolate too, so that was nice. It's really nice being able to join in and not feel super anxious over going out for a 6-course lunch, eating more than other people, and then having a takeaway. That's pretty cool. That's progress. But I just wanted to finish off talking about spending money and what I'm doing to try to make myself feel more comfortable with spending money on myself. And basically, I'm just trying to practice spending money. So recently I've been going out to happy hour quite a lot with other students and buying like a drink or two for myself, which felt very uncomfortable at first, because buying a drink felt even more wasteful than buying food, I guess. but I want to be able to join in, and so that's what I'm doing. And it's getting a lot easier now. And also been practicing buying snacks, as you've seen in my videos earlier, and buying meals for myself to eat alone is definitely something I need to work on. And so you're going to see that in my videos coming up. I don't think I'm going to have time to put it in this one, but yeah, that's definitely something that I need to work on. I also think that just in general, spending money does get easier as you come out of starvation mode, and your body, when you're eating enough, your body doesn't think you're in a famine anymore. You don't feel like you need to save resources as much as you once did. So spending money does become a little bit easier just purely through eating more and nourishing yourself. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Basically, just remember just keep in mind what life you actually want to live. Maybe think of someone you have as a role model, like someone who you see that goes out and buys a coffee and a muffin for themselves or something, and you can do that too. Like, you don't have to just watch and think, oh, I wish I could do that. You can do that, and although it feels a bit uncomfortable at first, it gets better. I think I'm going to end this here because I'll be busy today. I think we're going to like a botanical garden, which will be nice, and eating more food. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're doing well. Lots of love to you, and I'll record again soon. Okay, bye.